Hi, folks. Welcome to my humble off-grid homestead, and welcome to my thoughts this time. um, some of you on this kind of a windy day, I hope you're not getting too much wind noise. Some of you who have watched any of my previous videos know that my tribe, I'm from an area, region, that's about 10,000 years old, and so there were 23 nations, countries in 3 continents, and about roughly 4,000 or 5,000 kilometers land mass. And so with that comes religions during this 10,000 years. And in my own family, I have all the big ones. I myself don't subscribe to any organized religions. Paganism, maybe, I don't know. But I have to disclose that so you know that I have to say that I don't mean any offense by saying what I'm about to say. And I don't want to offend anybody. These are just my thoughts. Just like this whole channel is about my experience here and who I am and what shaped me. With that said, so here's what this video is about. I remember well who I was even talking to, one of my co-workers at one of my many menial jobs, 27 years ago now. I was saying to her that, that's how the conversation went. She was tired, and we had an early shift. Maybe it was 6, 7 in the morning. And she said that she was up all night playing this video game. I've never played video games. I'm not into video games. Even though I'm old enough to be of that generation that started with video games, I was never into it. So she said she was up all night playing this game called Sims. And I said to her that, I got news for you. All of this, I look around and I say this, you could be looking around and saying this to wherever it is that you live, is all a simulation. What I mean is that this is all, in my opinion, again, not trying to offend, in my opinion, this is all, and wherever you are all, someone's game. So obviously, I'm not an atheist. I do believe in something. You might call him God. Somebody else might call him Lucifer. Somebody else may not believe, may not believe in a singular being, and maybe it's the alien, some other intelligent life form that's created us. Some atheists believe that there's nothing after this. There's agnostics who believe in something they don't know. I think if I'm wrong, let me know. They believe in something, they don't know what it is, but they know there's something. Me personally, I think, and the older I get, the more convinced I am of this, that there is someone, I just call him the programmer the programmer above, or the AI in the sky that's designed all of this. And what this is, like I was mentioning earlier, is like a video game. And like a video game, you have many different levels. You have a few lives that you can spare, and you come back and you start over again. Now you know how to get to the next stage quicker because you've gone through it. You can call that incarnation if you want. And you have tools like you have like in your arsenal. If it's depending on the kind of game. Again, I'm not into video games, but I'm just guessing. If it's like one of those violent, machine gunny kind of games, you have your machine guns, you have your knives, you have your bazookas and tanks and whatever. Or if you're in a more of a gentler game, maybe you're a carpenter, you have your hand tools and you have your power tools, you have your hammer, whatever. And if you're maybe you're in a nurturing thing, you're maybe a nurse or a doctor or whatever, I don't know. I'm just saying, just like a video game, I'm trying to liken this to a video game. You have friends, you have enemies, there are monsters. I don't have to go into every single one. I think you know what I'm talking about. And so we pretty much have no agency. It's my opinion again. So at best, we're put on this path, and then you get to where it forks, or you have 5 choices, or however number. So if you go this way, you have your own set of challenges. If you go that way, you have your own set of challenges. You go whichever way you go, and then doesn't end, and then it branches again. And then some people will tell you that there are alternate universes and parallel universes and all that. Still, in my opinion, all falls under this umbrella of someone, something, group of people, whatever, that's created us and all of this in this game. A sick game, you might say. I don't know. I'm just saying. A game nonetheless. A game where we're not in control. And now you might say, how can you say that? Look, especially where I'm standing. Look at how many millions of different bugs or insects, how many hundreds of thousands of different varieties of trees and birds and whatever. How could all of this be created like that, and not by evolution or whatever? And I would say that look at how far. Let's see. What would be a good example? ChatGPT, for instance, 2, 3, or AI or whatever, AI generated things. 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, no one would have even heard of it. It would just be stuff of sci-fi movies. Now it's happening. No one would even question it. And so now, if that happened in less than 5 years, I remember talking to a young man 10 years ago, 9 years ago. Shout out to Liam. Having this conversation. And this conversation is always on my mind because to me, in my opinion, there's nothing bigger than this topic, honestly. So I mentioned this to anyone that's willing to listen. I was saying this to him, and he said, that other civilization, if there is one, and I'm not saying there is one, I think he said it, or somebody else, maybe a third person there, doesn't have to be 1,000 years ahead of us. They could just be 100 years ahead of us. And I thought, that's brilliant. That makes sense, because if we've come so far in the past 5 years in terms of technology and AI and whatever, just imagine how much farther along we would be in the next 95 years. And so if another more intelligent civilization or beings were created, again, maybe by someone else, 100 years before us, they could be so far along that they could have created us, and they could themselves be a creation of something else. The point of this whole video in its entirety is that I'm suggesting that I'm not trying to ruin anyone's day and say, well, if that's the case, if we have no agency, if we have no choice in the matter, nothing we do will make it any difference. I'm never going to leave my couch again. I'm never going to leave my house. That's not the point of that. The point that I'm trying to make is that as I get old, especially in the past couple of years, actually, I've been thinking, you know what? I'm very driven. I'm a planner. I have millions of ideas, millions of projects, don't have any money, and many that I've tried to hope to take flight, and I was close to it, that failed, so many failures. But in the past couple of years, I'm thinking, you know what, I should take my own advice and think it's not in the cards that I've been dealt with. And so why am I trying so hard? Resilience and all that is only going to take you so far. So I'm trying to not strike a balance, but it's a cool day today for May 20th. I'm trying to not so much strike a balance, but to say that, look, I'm going to try this maybe intentional community or whatever, growing even, say, like eggplant so many times, and if it's not going to grow in my zone, I'm just going to give up on that and let it go. Just let it go. And folks, I think if you're anything like me, driven and have a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Ambitions. Yeah, that's a good word. And things aren't happening for you, and things are happening for other people that are more or less doing the same thing as you, and you're thinking, why not me? And I'm trying to tell you that just maybe take it easy and let it go. Because I know it's not as easy said than done. I'm 56 now, and only in the past 2 years I've been really trying to let it go. I mean, I know the concept of letting go, but I'm much closer. I'm doing much better now in the past 2 years, and that's what I'm trying to share with you. I'm not saying let it go, let life go, let yourself go. I don't mean that. Gorge on whatever. I don't mean that. I mean that just so there is so much peace. It's ironic to say that on a windy day like today. There's so much peace in that place when you've accepted that particular project or whatever is not going to, like money, for instance, has always eluded me my entire life. And that's a horrible thing to say, horrible thing to witness when I'm not against money. I'm not saying money is evil. I'm anti-poverty, but I know that I need money to do basically any project I want to do. I need money to do it, and I don't have any of it to do it. And so, but when your whole life you chase after something and you're no nearer to it than when you first realize it in your early stages of life that you need this to be able to pay for this, that, and the other, and you think, you know what, I'm tired, I'm just exhausted. And so maybe if you're here on this channel to learn from how I grow my vegetables, for instance, or how I build my structures, or how whatever, this is another way of how I'm dealing with things and dealing with failure in particular. I've come to a realization that I may never have any amount of money to be able to do any of the projects that require any amount of money to take it to the next level or fruition or whatever. So you feel free to let me know what you think. Maybe from, oh, this is funny. Funny thing is that I'm actually going to title this video God, Yes or No. Let's say how many years ago? About 21 years ago, I started a website called GodYesOrNo.com. And it wasn't to be rude to anyone. It wasn't to downplay or whatever, although I don't believe in organized religions. It was to be a place where folks could come and voice their opinions from whichever perspective, and other people could come and maybe learn, but it would be honest. It wouldn't be from a perspective of a pope or a priest or a cantor or whatever the religions have, the rabbi. It would be from a perspective of an actual ordinary person like me. And or also the students of theology or whatever philosophy could come and read people's comments and learn from that. So 22 years ago, 21 years ago, this was not done as much. People were just, I remember Facebook had just started. People were just busy talking about themselves, me, that kind of thing, and not really necessarily that sounded too righteous. I'm trying to backpedal now. It wasn't. I love brainstorming. I love when people share their thoughts and their opinions, and so that I can. That's how. And I know how ignorant I am, and that's for me. That's the only way to grow. I don't care to go and read someone's book on something or listen to someone who, especially when there's a hummingbird there. It's about the size of my thumb. They're very shy, folks, and I don't even know why it's on that maple tree, because there are no flowers on a maple. I'm just going to slowly come up and get the camera and show you this if I can before it goes away. When they fly, they make a sound of lost it. Let me see if I can. I have a black currant bush behind you, and maybe in there. Anyway, sorry if I get there, and if it's not there, forgive me. But for now, I'll just finish this video by saying that, please, if you have anything to add or subtract or the opposing views, just be kind to others and their opinions. This is in my particular case. If you have something to say against what I said, that's fine. I'm okay with it. Just try to bring proof of what you really mean with sincerity, not something that your religion's doctrines told you, or your holy book or whatever is told. Just your own opinion. Okay, let me just go see if I can find this hummingbird for you. No, I don't see any. This is the bush I'm talking about, but I don't see it. I'll just leave the camera here, see if it comes back. But with me here, it's not going to come back, I'm sure. They're not particularly rare at this time of year. It's just I thought I would show you, because who doesn't like hummingbirds? Anyway, that's all for now today. Bye, folks.